Hey everyone, I'm Matt from TOTALmtg here, and today I will be upgrading the Second Sun control deck. It's going to be a bit of a change. Be prepared to say goodbye to all these blue cards. So you've bought the Second Sun control deck and you fancy upgrading it. Now you could just go blue-white approach if you do want to do that, that's up to you. But search for his canters, it does play minimum two to three of them, and they are nearly $25 to $30 each. So that is a big upgrade. Not forgetting the torrential Gearhulks as well. You're probably looking at over $100 to upgrade that deck with the other cards as well. So what I'm going to do for you today is upgrade this to a deck that is slightly gathering speed a bit and producing some very good results. And I've made my own little configuration here. That is a mono white approach control. So we are going to change the Second Sun control to a mono deck. So before we take a look at the deck, let's talk about the card that the whole deck is around, which is Approach of the Second Sun. Who'd ever have thought a 7-mana sorcery would be good in Standard? Well, this really is. It costs 7, like I say, you gain 7 life when you cast it. It can't be, you just hit the cast trigger on the first one. It then gets put back into your library, 7 from the top. Then you just need to get it as quick as you can, cast it again, let it resolve, and then you win the game. So like I said, this is a $50 upgrade. And the blue cards, why they'd be very good, I'm not going to go through them all and say why we're not doing it, because we are completely changing the deck on this Challenger deck. So, it's nearly $50. There is a hell of a lot of cards we're changing. So I'm going to go through the spells. There's no creatures in the main board. So that is, this is a proper, if you love control, this is your type of deck. If you like playing creatureless decks, this is your type of deck. So let's start off by looking at the spells. And we start off with 2 of Authority of the Councils. Creatures your opponents control enter tapped. And you gain a life, very important. The format is going to be very aggro standard at the moment, and this could really help you. So we're going to run 2 of them. So our second card that we're running, and it's a 4 of, is Baffling End. It's 1 and a white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you get to exile opponent's creature that costs 3 mana or less. The stipulation with this card, because it is very cheap, is that when it does leave, they get a 3/3 dinosaur, and it has trample as well. But it's a very nice early removal, get rid of something. It's a very good card. You wouldn't mind getting rid of a long tusk cub or something like that and then giving him a 3/3 trample instead. I do see that kind of thing as a sort of an upside, because obviously the cards like long tusk cub are so powerful and they can get so big as well. Yes, this is, but then they've got to have the removal of the Baffling End as well. So that's in there as a 4 of. More removal we have. 2 Thopter Arrest. When this enters the battlefield, exile artifact or creature in opponent's control till this enchantment leaves the battlefield. We run this as a 2 of. It does cost 2 and a white, but yet again, we've got a lot of enchantment removal here, which is what white does really well. So we've got 2 of these in there. We follow it up with 4 Cast Outers in the deck. It's going to get rid of any target non-land permanent. And it's also got cycling in case you don't need it late on. You can flash it in, cycle, draw a card, very nice. Also, a 4 of Ixalan's Binding. You can see the theme with this deck. This mono white control is quite dirty, to be honest. This approach has so much removal, and it's not just getting rid of creatures, getting rid of permanents as well. Ixalan's Binding is like Cast Out. It doesn't have the flash, but what this one does is the opponents can't cast spells of the same that you get to exile with this card. Very good card. You can get their best creature, their best planeswalker, anything you want, and unless they can remove Ixalan's Binding, they won't be able to cast it again. So let's get on to even more removal. What do we have? The deck already had 1 Settle the Records in there, and I've scoured lots and lots of decks, and they seem to just run 1. There's a few that don't run out, but I'm happy with 1 because we do run 4 Fumigate as well. Another important life gain. People do play around Settle the Wreckage, I will say, but it doesn't stop you from playing it. If you want more Settle the Wreckage, just add some more in. But we've got 4 Fumigate here. Destroy all creatures, and you're going to gain 1 life for each of them as well. So the treasure map is our first artifact. We got 4 of these. It costs 2. You do 1 tap, scry 1, you put a landmark counter on. Then you've got 3 or more. You get to remove them, and then you get to flip. Now when you flip this, it taps for colourless mana, and it also sacrifices a treasure. You draw a card. It makes 3 treasures when it transforms. Very nice card, and it helps us towards the City's Blessing, which is what Orazka's Relics is all about. This has a sense, so you need to get the City's Blessing and have 10 permanents on the battlefield under your control. This will tap for colourless mana, and then you can sacrifice the Relic. You gain 3 life and draw a card. You only get to activate this if you do have the City's Blessing though. But, you know, it's pretty easy for us. If we get those treasure maps going, we don't crack off the artifacts, we're going to get, you know, quite a lot of permanents there. We run 26 lands. We're going to have a lot of lands on the battlefield as well. This is very nice. Life gain, draw a card. Very nice card is a Orazka Relic and very cheap to buy as well. So it's a great addition to the deck. The last artifact we run, this is the most expensive card that we've had to add in, which is the Immortal Sun. This, you know, it's a 6 mana artifact, but players can't activate loyalties of abilities of Planeswalkers. Very good for us. We don't run any Planeswalkers. At the beginning of your draw set, you draw an additional card, which helps you with Approach the Second Sun, because you want to get through your cards. Orazka draws you cards, Immortal Sun draws you cards. Very nice. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast as well, and creatures you control get +1/+1. Now, we don't have any creatures in the main board, but we have quite a few in the sideboard, so this is still a very good card in the main, and then when we do a transformation, possibly from the sideboard, this will still be a very good effective card for us. So we're going to get to our lands now, and we've got a few utility lands in there. We've got Archer of Orazka, another card based around Ascends. You need the City's Blessing to do the ability of 5-tap, draw a card, but we should be able to get there. Late game, this will help us get to those approaches. So we've got 2 of them. We've also got 2 Field of Ruin, really important. You need to kill those Search for Azcantors. You know, they spent all their money on their searches and you just go and kill it when it flips. Field of Ruin, very good for that. I've had my searches killed many times by the field. 2 Scavenger Grounds. Sacrifice a desert, exile all cards from the graveyard, pay 2, you sack it to itself, you get to, you know, decks that are using their graveyards. This is a very nice card. We've got some Sentinels in the sideboard as well, can help us with graveyard decks. 3 Chefnet Dunes, mainly obviously for when we bring the creatures in, because this will give creatures you control get +1/+1 to end of turn is the ability of this. So that is there for when we want to transform to the sideboard. And then we run a lot of planes, I think it's 17 in total. So let's get to the sideboard now. Like I said, we've got creatures in our sideboard. We've got 4 Adanto Vanguard. It costs 2, it's a 1/1. You think, oh, that's not too good. But when it attacks, it gets +2/+0. We've got abilities to gain life here. You can pay 4 life and it gains indestructible to end of turn. So it's going to trade off with nearly everything in the format. Very nice card, Adanto, and we've got that in there as a 4 of. We've also got 2 Takata Guard. Creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. So we've got that in there. Very nice card, 1/3. Sometimes you want to bring this in when you're playing more of the control sort of side though, because you don't want to bring this in really when you've got the Regal coming in. Maybe you can still bring it in and just obviously you sequence it a lot better. Maybe play your Regal first. But to me, you don't really want to mix these 2 together. People might say, yeah. But obviously when this comes in, it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white creatures. Now, like I said, bring these in. You can bring the Adantos in. I tend to maybe leave the Tecatl out, possibly. Tecatel's coming in to make it, you know, a bit more of controlling, so you can change some cards for that. But it's a bit of a nombo, obviously, with Regal Caragor. But I think it's a very nice addition to the card and can sort of help you as well in certain matchups as the Tecatl. We've got 1 more Authority of Councils, and then we've got a Fragmentized, Destroy Target Artifact Enchantment coming across 4 or less. So that's a little bit more removal for us. And like I said, 2 Sentinel Totems. When it enters the battlefield, you get to scry 1, always handy when you're playing something that you're searching for. And you can tap it straight away and exile the totem, exile all cards from all graveyards. Our last card in the sideboard is Gideon's Intervention as a 1-of. I have seen this played in maybe the main board in quite a few decks, so maybe I will test that out when I play it on Twitch or something, when I stream some games of it. But this, you know, it's not a bad card. It doesn't see much play, but it's a cheat card. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a card name, so you could choose something that's very hard for you to deal with, and this will hopefully, another enchantment, another removal, very hard. Enchantments, you know, people aren't going to run mass enchantment removal, as many as the enchantments we have in this deck. So, you know, some things will get killed, but there's going to be a lot that aren't. And I feel Gideon's Intervention is just a nice little addition, something a little bit different to the deck. So guys, that was the upgraded Second Sun control deck. We got rid of all my lovely blue. You know I'm a blue mage and I love the blue. But I felt, you know, I wanted to do something a bit different. Just didn't want to make standard UW approach control when we upgrade this deck. I thought this was a nice spin on it. And please, if you do put the deck together, let me know. I say it's around $50. Not a bad little upgrade for this already very good deck. But if you want to go the blue-white way, you go the blue-white way. Maybe you'll have the cards for that, but this is something a bit different, and I'm very, very excited to play it and give it a go. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you could. Really, it's a good way, free way to support the channel. And if you fancy hitting that subscribe button as well, if you like what you see, I would really appreciate that too. Anyway, you guys take care, and I'll see you on the next video.